Hey everybody, just a little update. Just got back from my first therapy appointment. That finally went through. It only took 2 months and two tries. It was only an intake, but it went well. I did tell the person that was doing my intake about my concerns about possibly being bipolar, and they said, it's early, at the end of the intake, they said, it's a little early and it's not a diagnosis, but from what I see, I don't think that's the case. But there is definitely a mood disorder of some kind floating around in there. So that's what we're going to look for so I can get that fixed. Um, but that was, something that made me feel a little better. Um, still been moving around out here. I've had friends come over a couple times for Bible study. We already got the next book for the church Bible study, and we don't start that till September. But we already have the book, so that's great. I already have extra materials to go with it. Where I organized the library, we decided that our topic when we go back is going to be spiritual warfare, and this is the book we got for the study. And then I had on my bookshelf these two specific to spiritual warfare and something cool I had in my collection. This is actually a spiritual warfare Bible. It's a study Bible with a lean towards that topic. So that'll be the Bible that I use during that study. That way I can chime in with a little extra info. But I'm excited for that. That's always been my thing, and I'm definitely getting more into getting that done. Um, because I want that to be a focus in my future, is sticking to the Bible studies. It's something I'm good at. It's something productive. It's something helpful to others. So why not? What better thing to really focus some time and attention on if I have a gift for it. um, I've had a lot of moments lately, the past few days, where I don't know. I learn new things about myself that I've forgotten. With the way things have gone over the last few months, and the years before that, I had pretty much deleted most of my identity from myself to cater to that relationship. And now that I was able to bring some of that back, again, I'm getting these reminders of who I used to be, and I used to like parts of myself. Not all parts, but and I'm starting to bring those back. Um, I have had more joy lately. I've had a few moments where I just laugh out loud. So I am getting better. Uh, you know, Progressing ahead. Excuse me. This thing has been great for clearing out where I quit smoking. Um, I know that didn't sound great, but trust me, it's getting a bunch of stuff out that I don't want in there anymore. Um, but yeah, as I'm discovering these pieces of my old self and they're being resurrected, shall we say, um, I need to reiterate again how much you need to be firm in your identity with yourself because there are others in this world that will try to take it from you, try to stop you from being that, and they are very much not in your best interest. And you need to avoid these people, but you only are aware of it if you know who you really are and you have the self-respect to know your own value. See, that's where I messed up. I thought my, self-worth was reliant on something outside of myself, and no, that's not how that works. I get to set the price, and too many people were getting, bargain basement prices, and I had to correct that. And leveling up comes with some goodbyes. I'm cool with that. I really am at this point. You know, I've started to make new friends, ones that are healthier for me. My other buddies, we had a great session Saturday for Bible study. Uh, had a lot of back and forth this time, so I'm really enjoying that camaraderie, fellowship. A lot of good people, I'm starting to surround myself with. And that's a good reminder of your own self worth because it's people that see the value in you. You know, a couple weeks ago when I was having issues with the insomnia and I couldn't sleep, I missed church the one day. And let me tell you, I was definitely missed. And that was a new feeling for me. I didn't know how to take that. Um, but yeah, people definitely noticed my absence. And that is, sad to say, something I'm not used to. Um, I haven't had that experience in quite a long time. Because they value what I bring. I have this in depth look of things. I don't just stick to the surface level. I like to take things deeper. I like to understand it better. That's why I can do a lot of the things that I can do. You can't change something until you understand it, and that's just how it works. You have to have the awareness, the awareness and the willpower. But again, once you find your identity, be strong in it. Do not let anybody, and I do mean anybody, not your partner, not your parents, not your children, nobody. Don't let anybody else tell you who you are. It is your job to tell the world who you are. We are meant to be unique. We are meant to be, we're meant to celebrate the differences from one another. That's meant to be our one of our strong points. Is because we have all different experiences and things of that nature. You know, you put us all together in one think tank, and you can get a lot accomplished. Oh, excuse me. I firmly believe that is, the penultimate goal. Solve as many problems as possible in the best interest of the most people possible. And I don't know why our leaders can't do that. Um, it's like they have an affliction to letting people live right, and I'm getting really tired of it. We the people need to remind them what we the people stands for. You know, the way a lot of us have been forced to live lately ain't right. It don't sit well. It's against our best interest. So that's another reason you have to be firm in your identity because there will be times you got to fight for it. And you got to make sure it's worth fighting for. I'm not saying, blank slate. That is not, you know, carte blanche to just be a dick and say, that's my personality. No, that is not what I mean. Um, but you better like who you are, who you decide to be. Because if you don't, it will lead to a lot of problems down the line. Problems that you don't want. So, get everything in alignment. Get everything working together instead of against one another. I'm trying to think, there was one other point I wanted to bring up. That's another reason you guys haven't seen much of me is not only have I been busy with the project, but I haven't really had much to say because I want everybody to catch up. Because I know all the previous material was a lot of stuff. And this process doesn't happen overnight. It does take some time and effort. Again, I've said before, you can shorten the process. The more you do it, the quicker you can get at it. That is absolutely true. But it still, requires time and effort. There's no shortcuts that way, you know. There's shortcuts in once you know how to identify and then handle the problem and then change the behavior. It does get faster and easier, the more often you do it. But that's the other thing, you got to be willing to stay on it and continue to do it. Because if you take too much time away from it, you revert back and then you got to start it all over again. You got to be very careful when breaking yourself of bad habits. You cannot let yourself slip back into them. Once you start that fight, you got to see it through. That or give up the ghost and accept it. That's your choices. Me, I kind of like to put the fight up. So, I come to the conclusion that nobody is going to choose me. Nobody's going to fight for me if I'm not willing to do it for myself. And I've always put myself on the bottom of the totem pole. The bottom of the list. I let everybody walk all over me while I was trying to be there for everybody else, and that shit had to stop. There's an end to that. No more one-sided relationships, friendships, whatever. If it's not reciprocal, I'm out. With a quickness and not a single regret. I promise. Maybe that's what's dangerous, but my detachment has had to be exercised a lot lately. So it is what it is. But yes, I'm continuing to get things done in the shop project to expand out. Like I said, we've already had a couple great, Bible study sessions out here where I've had a couple friends over. It's been fantastic. They love the layout. They love, all the features and all that. Um, so that's cool. And I have been going through more books. Matter of fact, when I went to my appointment today, I took a book with me um, to help guide me, give me tips for guiding others in Bible study, because I want to brush up on that, because I want to do it correctly. Uh, Got to do it the right way. Um, yeah, that's about it for an update for now. Things are going well. They're moving slowly, but they are moving forward. And that's, what more can I ask for? As long as I have forward momentum. Well, I knew in the beginning this wasn't going to be quick or easy, either way. But again, now that I have momentum, I just got to keep it. So I keep myself busy. Um, I keep nurturing healthy relationships I've already had to cut a couple off, new friendships, because I saw old patterns, and no thank you, and I noped right out. But I've also found a couple that have, the capability of an in-depth conversation, like what I've been wanting, what I've been looking for, and that's been fantastic. People that challenge me and inspire me to go further and do better. You know, people that will nurture, positive improvements. That's what you got to keep around yourself. If you want to be the best you could be, you will become your five best friends. Whatever your five best friends look like is what your future is. That is absolutely true. And I'm just trying to figure out what it means, because now I don't have, you know, five friends around me. So what does that say? You know? But they're coming. I'm reaching out for my tribe. Anyway, enough rambling from me for today. I just wanted to give the update and let you know, how progress was coming. Um, take care of yourself. Try and help take care of each other. I'll see you in the next one.